Okay, so we're now going to move on to quantitative data. I'm very careful with this because it gave me a trouble just before, but let's hope that it works. Okay. Alright, so moving on to quantitative. Quantitative data. Okay? So as we said before, there's two types, discrete and continuous. And we just looked into one case of discrete, right? We said number of items returned, right? Here we're not going to return a half, right? We're only going to return a whole number, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth, right? And for these type of data, we use something called histogram. Okay, so what histogram looks like, I'll just try my best to draw something like this. This is going to be the number of items returned, and here it's going to be relative frequency. Okay, and it's always less than 1, right? Because everything has to add up to 1, so it's always less than 1. Alright, so it's going to look like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's going to look like something like this, something like, so it looks like a bar graph, right? But they're all put together like this, something like this, okay? And these heights are, right, these heights proportional to relative frequency. I mean, it is possible to do it, not use relative frequency and just use frequency, so the number would be like 5 or 7 here, but generally speaking, we just use relative frequency. Okay, so why don't we just go back to Excel and let's see how we can make the histogram there. Alright, so that was this, right? So we have frequency and relative frequency here, and we're going to do the same. It's always the same whenever we're making a graph. You always select the frequency, the relative frequency, and go to insert. Now we're going to choose this bar graph instead of the chart, right? The pie chart. Just click on this, and you can do 2D or 3D, whichever you like. Just keep it simple and choose 2D. And I'm gonna make it a little smaller for us. So after doing this, you see the relative frequencies here, right? Relative frequencies are noted. And here in this case, we are lucky because the number of items is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this matches this, but you can always change it. Again, you can right click, go to select data. Same thing, right? Horizontal, the axis label would be, you can edit this and you can select whichever you like. Right, so it's going to be this. But in this case, it's the same because they always label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by default, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the number that we're using. So this is that, and okay. Okay, right, and then we can change the title to items returned. So this is the histogram. Okay, it's pretty simple, right? And now we are moving on to continuous data, continuous variable. Alright, so we have another tab here. Let's look at this. Sleep. Here in this case, it's hours of sleep. And we labeled this. Okay, let me make it a little bigger again. So we have hours of sleep, so on and so forth. And as we discussed before, continuous variable doesn't have a set interval. So it's not like, oh, I slept for 4 hours. It's never, it's really hard to say it's on 4 hours. It's always like, oh, 4 hours and 2 seconds. It could be like 2 hours and 2.72 seconds, right? We just round it up, and that's why it's continuous. And since it's not, we can't do it by the number like this. Like we can't break it down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it's continuous. So whenever we graph this, it's going to be a smooth line instead of bars. But to use histogram, what we can do here is we can make a range. So we can do like 4.5 to 4.7, right? We can easily make a range and do this. So we're gonna build another frequency table for this. So let's see, and we're gonna make an interval, right? And we're gonna make a frequency again, and here we have relative frequency. Okay, so let's just make the interval from, well, for making an interval you have to choose the smallest to the largest, and the interval have to be same in size. Okay, so it has to be, if we're going by 0.2, it has to be 0.2 all the way through. So what yeah, why don't we do this? I'm just gonna make an arbitrary number, so 4.3 to 5.5. Okay, since this is apart by 1.2, we're going to do that everywhere. So 6.7 from 6.7 to 7.9, 7.9 to 9.1, and 9.1 to 10.3. So these are the intervals that we have. Okay, and we're gonna count these. Alright, so here comes the question. How do we count this? I mean, we did the countif function, right? Using equal, but how do we count the range? That's the problem. Okay, so for our sake, we're going to do this. We're going to do if we label this x, it's going to be greater less than or equal to 0.5. I mean, no, 5.5, okay? For all of these. So this is 5.5, x greater than less than or equal to 6.7, okay? So same for all, because we don't want to have overlaps here, right? So 6.7, and so on and so forth, right? You get the idea. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so yeah, that's the idea there, okay? So how we're going to do this is the following. Okay, this, okay, it's working. Alright, so we are going to use countif function, because that's what we always use, right? Because we're counting in this range, greater than 4.3 and then less than or equal to 5.5, right? So we're going to do this. We're going to do countif, okay? And then you have to give it a range. I'm going to choose A2 to A41. That's a range. And then criteria, comma criteria is we want any number greater than, right? Greater than 4.3. So we're going to do greater than 4.3. 4.3. And then close parentheses, close quotation mark, and close parentheses. That's any number greater than 4.3, okay? So if you do this, you're going to get 40. Why? Because we have 40 entries. Everything is greater than 4.3. So we're doing it correctly, right? But do we just want anything greater than 4.3? No, because we have to have it until 5.5. So what we're going to do here is we're going to edit this equation. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to subtract whatever is greater than 5.5. Count if, and then we give it a range again. And what? Go up. Let's go up. Okay. And then greater than 5.5. Okay. Do you understand what we're trying to do right now? What we're doing here? Okay, let's just see if it works. So it says 7, let's count it off. Since this is an increasing order, we can count it off, right? 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is correct. And for those who are a little confused, we can just try to do a where's my pen? Yeah, I can show you how it works, okay? Sorry. It's going a little crazy right now, but we'll get it to work. Oh, what just happened? Okay. Okay. Let me just find my pen. Okay, I think it's working now. Alright, so Let's look at a timeline, I mean a number line. See, okay, say okay, it's finally working, I believe. So let's just draw this here. This is a number line. And we have 4.3 here and 5.5 here. Okay, it just disappeared. I don't think I don't think it likes me. Okay, it's here. Okay, so what we're trying to do is, so here, when we were doing count if greater than 4.3, we're looking for any value greater than here, right? And when we were doing count if greater than, count if greater than 5.5, that means including, not including 5.5, we are looking for any value greater than this. So essentially what we're left with is, here, just here, right? So not including 4.3 and including 5.5, right? It's that I'm not sure if that's that was enough explanation for you, but that's pretty much the case. So looking at the function again, count if greater than 4.3, so greater than 4.3, right? And here it's greater than 5.5, and we're subtracting. So we're subtracting anything greater than 5.5. So any up to 5.5 we're including. So we are left with this interval. So that's how you use these inequalities, greater than or less than, right? So that's how you do it. And same thing here. We're going to count if. We're going to select the range, comma, and then we're going to give it a range. So this time it's greater than 5.5, and then we're going to subtract another count if, select the range, comma. Now this time we're going to do greater than 6.7, close quotation mark, close parentheses, enter. And this is a value. Okay? So if we do all that, let me just quickly finish this. This is greater than 6.7. And then 7.9 greater than 7.9. Sure, yeah. No. Okay, I messed up the formula here. I forgot to put the quotation mark. And okay, again, count if, select the range, quotation mark, greater than 7.5, subtract count if, select the range, comma, now this time greater than 9.1, quotation mark, close parentheses, and the last one, count if, range, this? Greater than 9.1, subtract, counter, range, comma, greater than 10.3. Okay, so I think I made a mistake here. Okay, so here it's, I made a mistake here because you see range is supposed to be A2 to A41, but here the range is messed up. That's why we're getting a big number. Let's change this to A2 to A41. Yeah, and it should be right. And if we sum it up, okay, we're gonna get the total, right? Total is sum again, let's set it again. Let's see, sum the range should be 40. Okay? Oh, okay. And relative frequency is always easy because it's always frequency divided by total. And we're gonna lock this value by pressing F4 and enter. Okay, we're gonna copy this down to all the other ones, and it's gonna do the calculation for you. And if we do the same thing here, sum it up, and it's 1. Alright, so these are the relative frequencies. And we can again do the histogram for this as well. And histogram will be something like this. Okay, so data, no, insert, bar graph, 2D, and let's make it a little smaller. Okay, and right here so we can see it. Oopsie. Alright, so this is the title, and now we're going to change the interval because the interval does not match the interval here. So right click, select data, and edit. And it says access label range, and we've done it before, so here are the ranges. Enter, okay, and okay. Right, this is number, no, let's just say hours of sleep. Okay, and here we have the histogram. Okay, and this matches up with the relative frequency here, and this is pretty much what we've done so far. Alright, so here is the thing about histogram. Continuous variable. Continuous variable is, it cannot be represented by histogram unless it has an interval. Correct? So because we're not gonna have histogram labeling all these intervals, so we might have to have a bar for each and every single one of them, right? So we have 4.5, 4.6, 4.7, blah blah blah. So it's really hard to make a histogram, but later on we're gonna learn how to decrease the interval here. Interval here was 1.2, and that's pretty big, but later on in statistics they do interval up to like 0.000001, so it's nearly 0. And then if you do have histogram like that, it's going to end up look like a line, right? If you chop these bars into a really tiny interval, it's going to look like a bar. That's really similar. Okay, so what I want to do next is something a little different. I think we have enough of graph. So let's move on to something different, and it's called, so let's move on to our notes. Okay, it's getting a little messy, but bear with me. Oh, it's doing this again. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna do what this is called is 5-number summary. Okay, and it might take a little longer than our session, so we can hopefully we will move on. We will cover the basics of 5-number summary, and then we can do the rest next week. But let's just cover what we can cover. Alright, so 5-number summary has obviously 5 number, and this is a way, let's just change this. Okay, this is a way of analyzing the data. Okay, 5-number summary has 5 numbers, and I'm just gonna list them, right? So we have minimum, and this is pretty self-explanatory, right? Minimum is Q1, and we have median, or Q2, Q3, and we have maximum. Okay, and these are pretty simple. These are bothering me a little bit. Let me just erase these. Okay, so minimum is what? This is obvious. The smallest number, right? Smallest number in the data set. Okay, and Q1 is the 25th percentile, and I'm going to explain what it means. Okay, median is the 50th percentile, or the middle number. Okay, Q3 is the 75th percentile, and maximum is the largest number. Okay, so let's look at an example and let's explain this a little further. Let's say we've been talking about a lot of testing scores. Let me just choose another thing. We can say age. Why don't we? Okay, so this is the age in UAUT. Age of students, right? Say we have I don't know, 17, we have 2 17s, we have 18, we have 19, we have 3 19s, we have 20, 21, 20, I don't know, 23, 26, 27, 29, and 30. Let me count them up. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 is, yeah, 15 is a good number. Okay, so these are the numbers that we have. Okay, And obviously the minimum, right? Minimum is the smallest number. Smallest number here is 17. So this is the minimum. Okay? And let's just do the maximum first. Okay, so this is the maximum because this is the largest number. Also, we have Q1, Q3, and median. Let's do the median first. Median is the middle number. Okay, so middle number, we just count them off. Let's just do it this way. Alright, so we just pair up these two numbers, the first and the last number. And you gotta be careful because it has to be in an increasing order, right? So these two are gone. And again, these two are gone. These two are gone. These two are gone, right? 19 and 26. Again, 19 and 23. 20 and 21. So the middle number here is 21. This one is the median. Or this is also known as Q2. Okay? And for so for Q1, right, we do the same with the first half. Oh, let me change color. And then it's working. Yes. So 17 here and 21 is gone. So we're doing the first half. 17 here is gone. 20 is gone. 18 is gone. 19 is gone. So we have these two numbers, right? 19 and 19. When we're stuck with these two numbers, we take the average. But in this case, it's easy because these two are equal. So 19 is our Q1. Okay? And if you do the same with these two, so again, 21 is gone, 30 is gone, 21, 29 is gone, 23, 27 is gone, and 26 and 26. These are the two numbers that we're left with. And again, whenever we're stuck with two numbers, we take the middle number, so average. So this is 26, and this is Q3. I'm really sorry, my tablet is not working very well, so it's getting a little messy, but I'll try to fix it over the weekend. So that's how you find these numbers. But we have something great called Excel, and in Excel it's really easy to do this. So we're gonna do that. But before I move on to the Excel part, let's just think about this. What does median represent? Median represents the middle number. Oops. Right? Middle number. Do you think median and average are equal? No, it's not. Median is simply the middle number. So if you take a really simple example, say we have numbers like 1, 2, and 3. No, let's not do that. Not 1, 2, and 3. Just say we have 1, 2, and 10. Right? The middle number, median, is 2. But if you take the average, what do you get? You get 6.5 because if you add them up, oh, it's not 6.5. Sorry. Right? It's because 13 divided by 3, that's about 4 something, right? And this is not exactly it. So middle number and so median Just remember that median does not equal average. And we will discuss this later on. So now let's move on to Excel. And let's do some example. Okay, so let's do some, yeah. So what do we use these numbers? No. Yeah, I have another thing for you. So you make it to 200. Okay, and these are the exam scores in a class. Okay, and we're going to make a 5 summary report. Okay, so first is minimum. Minimum equals what? There is a function called minimum, so we can just say min, right? It returns the smallest number in a set of values, and then open parentheses, and you just give it a range. So you just select all the data here. So from A2 to A51. Okay? Oops, I messed that up. So A2 to A51. A51. Okay? Close parentheses, enter. And it gives you the minimum number. Okay? Q1, we're going to do it later because let's do the median. Q3 and max. Okay, same thing with max. Equals max, open parentheses. You select the range, close parentheses, right, enter, and it gives you the maximum score. Okay, median also has a special function, so median is median, open parentheses, again, same range. Let's give it a range, close parentheses, looks like this, enter. Okay, for Q1, we have a function, but it doesn't say Q1, so it said enter. No, it's not. Oh, sorry. It's quartile. Tile. The first one that's highlighted. .exc. Okay? And then open parentheses. Now you're going to give a range. It says array, right? Same thing. So from A2 to A51, right? And comma. And it says quart. Now it's asking for the number after the Q. So this is the first quartile, right? And Q3 is the third quartile. So we're going to say 1 because this is the first quartile. Close parentheses, enter. And it gives you the first quartile value. And same thing here. It's quartile.exc, open parentheses, array, so A2 to A51, comma. Now this time is Q3, so 3, third quartile, and then close, and you get the number. And I said before, median equals Q2, right? Second quartile, so we can do that the same way. So quartile, exc, open parentheses, array, so you choose the range, comma. Now we're looking for the second, so 2, and you should get the same value. So this is how you get the quartiles, and we're going to do some more exercises on this next class, but just remember that this is based on what should I say? Based on order. Okay, so let me just find my pen here. So quartile. No, not let's just not do quartile. Just say percentile. Percentile is ordering data set in an increasing order, and then numbering. And quartile came from percentile because quartile means quart, right? This is 4. You're dividing the whole data set into 4 distinct groups, right? So here minimum is 37, and first quartile means, oh, I don't know what it's doing. My computer is a little weird. First quartile is the 25th number, okay? So, or 25th percentile. Okay, this is going a little crazy. Okay, so you order the numbers in order, and then you divide it into 4 different sections. And the fourth number is first quartile, and the second quarters, right? And that will be the half, is a median. And third would be the Q3, third quartile, and the last is always a maximum. That's Q4. And I apologize for this mess, but that's pretty much the idea behind it. And we're going to do some exercise next class. I'll see you in a bit in a Q&A session, so please write down your questions if you have any. And I do have homework for you, so I'm pretty sure the staff there will provide you with the file. But basically what you have to do is you have to download the Excel file. If you don't have the computer with you, I guess you guys can share and practice together, but please do that. And I think that's about it. So have a nice weekend, and please go over these topics. These are pretty easy because it's only the first week of class, but I promise you it will get more challenging and it will be more exciting for you. Alright.